right, here we are, September 4th at High Tunnel number 1, which is the big tunnel. This is a 30 by 96 tunnel, and we're growing actually about 30 by 90. Leave a little room at both ends. Doors are wide open. Got the fans off, but I'll turn them on when the video's over. So let's skinny down this way. These are the red mountains, and they are putting fruit back on. Look at that big one over there. He's about ready to go. So big tomatoes are happening again. It's just going to take a little bit. These have been very prolific. Again, these red mountains, just like you saw in the first video in the grow bag house, don't get very tall. It's about it. But they put on a lot of fruit. And they're loading up again. We've already picked, gosh, gobs of tomatoes out of this house. On the aisle over, those are BHNs like you also saw. Those just haven't done well. I just don't think they got enough sunlight between this row here, another nice one, and on the other side over there that strung up, the red deuces, which were monsters. So far, big Dinos, of course, produce well. That's our indeterminate. These are determinates. These are red mountains. And we've grown them on 2 different rootstocks, a Maxifort and an RST. And now these down here are not grafted. They're regular tomatoes so that we can compare the production. And it's not as good, but still, got a lot of tomatoes out of them. There's some that are about ready to pick. So let's mosey around here to the north side of the tunnel. Didn't put as many doors on this one because we have prevailing south winds. So again, this is the other side. These are red deuces that kind of got out of hand. Trying to string up determinates is probably not a great idea. It's easier to do it that way, but I chose this way. So these are the big Dinas. These all had herbicide damage, and some of it's still around. Those leaves that look like this, all shrivelly, that's herbicide damage. A lot of them have grown out of it. And we have had some big tomatoes down on the bottom here. Again, grafted tomatoes. I think if they were not grafted, we'd have an issue. Uh-oh. We have the dreaded tomato hornworm on this one. I'll have to find him and get rid of him. And then spray with BT or spinosad. That's what happens. Either that, or we have caterpillars or grasshoppers that attacked it. But probably it is a tomato hornworm. If I look enough, I'll find him. Or on the ones next door. Hate to see that, but anyway, that's life. These have been lowered and leaned also. You can see this plant right here at the bottom. It's got a nice V. This one grows to here. This all up to here and strung up. The bottom one here goes down and over and up to here, and he's on this string and needs to be tied up again. These are about ready to be lowered again. When they get to the top, we have to let out string from this. Gives you an extra foot. And yeah, got to do that. Here's a plant that it's got a lot of blooms. Doesn't look as healthy as the others. May have some spider mite damage. He's over here loading up. There's a cluster down there, cluster down there, and it'll keep going. Again, over here, the same thing. A lot of tomatoes coming, but they're not here yet. This is one that has to go. That's a sucker. If you leave him alone, he forms a whole new plant. Got a bee, I think, pollinating. So, these guys should have produced about twice as much tomatoes as they are right now, and have done so. But can't cry over spilled milk. When this season's over, I'll pull all of these out about October and turn the sprinklers on this house and flood the whole thing. I mean, really flood it. It will be a quagmire in here to lift up all this white stuff. It'll be a chore, but we have to try to leach all of this herbicide out of here. Then we'll plant a cover crop, a vetch, or whatever's recommended by the guys that know more than I do. And let it go to the spring and then till it in and then see what happens. Another option would be to put grow bags in here, but it would cost a fortune. Over here, another row of Big Dinas. Behind there is our injection system. These over here are BHN 589s. Got some ripe ones on it. This is not done nearly as well over here as in the grow bags. Just really haven't put on a lot of tomatoes, but they're starting to come around. There's some. So we will have more tomatoes. They're coming. Probably into September we'll have a bunch, and we'll go clear into October, possibly December. I don't know. We'll see. We won't let these plants hang around just trying to pick off some late bloomers. We'll get in here and get after it. These have not been leaned and lowered. They're all going straight up. So what we've got to do is we've got to come in here, take the hook off. Got a lot of weight on it already. And give you an example. We'll move it over this way. So now this plant, which is this stalk right here, will go over, and the whole thing will lean. It's kind of being stopped by the other plants. So these have a lot of trimming to do and leaning and lowering, and we go to the right all the time, which produces Republican tomatoes until you turn the other way, and we're equal opportunity growers, and you get the Democrats. They go left, if you can follow that all up. And these are getting very healthy. So that's it. Ooh, look at this. This is what we want to see. Come on, kids, start growing. Yes, indeed. Another lengthy video, and if you like to hang around, then you got a big dose of the big OSU grafted tomato experience. And always something out here, that's for sure. Time to get the fans back on. It's getting a little warm in the high tunnels. Y'all have a great rest of your Labor Day weekend. We'll see you down the line.